I know you always talk about aggression after games like this. 7 shots for you today. Was it something the Knicks were showing you? Did you feel like you couldn't get to your spots? What led to the night that you felt like you're at today?
Yeah, rough night for me. I got to be better, setting the tone, getting downhill. I feel like I didn't do a great job of that. But I watched the film. There were some different things they did defensively. But for the most part, I think their base stuff was the same. They picked up the pressure a little bit more, tried to apply more as the game went on. But yeah, I got to be better, and I'll be better in Game 6. But I watched the film and learn from it like I always try to do, and be prepared for Game 6.
Starters in general as a unit weren't particularly good tonight. What did you feel like was going wrong for you guys, and how much do you feel like stems from that stuff you just said?
Yeah, you worded that in a nice way. Yeah, we weren't great as a group. I thought, we lost the margin battle today. I thought they did a better job in the margins. We turned the ball over too much, didn't rebound to our ability like we have shown this series. And when you do those two things against these guys in a game that comes down to so many possessions, it's tough. It's tough. So we got to be better as a group. I think our pace has to be better, and that starts with me. I got to be better there. As a group, we've shown that we can have some success, this playoffs, and it was a rough showing for us tonight. So, we'll watch the film, see where we can get better, and be prepared for Game 6.
We've been talking a lot about your pace. Is it too much for the Knicks? All that. So then they turn up the ball pressure tonight.
Yeah.
Did that surprise you at all that they actually kind of tried to play a little more like you guys play?
No. I mean, we're up 3-1. Their season's on the line today, so I understand they're going to come out and play hard, increase the pressure, do whatever they got to do to win. And they did a great job of that. And, now it's on us to respond in Game 6. So I think when you get here at this point, there's no such thing as surprises. You got to be prepared for whatever is to come. So, they kudos to them. They played better than us today, and we got to be prepared for Game 6.
On that note, how do you think they changed things as far as just trying to take away the throw in a game? It seemed like it was harder for you guys to push the ball through the air.
Yeah.
You had a couple turnovers doing that.
Yeah.
How did they do things differently to try to take that part away?
Yeah, I think they just did a good job applying pressure. Just did a better job defensively than they did last game. Switched some things up. We saw some blitzes. Brunson's shows were a little harder. They switched a little bit more down the line. They mixed things up as the game went on. But again, just the great part about the playoffs, you watch film, see where you can get better, and you play these guys again in 2 days. So, I think there's a lot of room for improvement. I think that's the great part about playoff basketball. When you play a team so many times, is there's always something that you can get better at and improve, even in wins and losses. We felt like our preparation was right. As a group, I felt like we approached the day the right way. But I feel like I could have been a lot better. So, put it on me, and, I'll be better in Game 6.
You mentioned the pace. Obviously, we weren't the same number of, early offense transition opportunities for you guys tonight. How much of that is related to what was happening sort of on the other end of the court? Like you mentioned the offensive rebounds and that kind of thing, and just sort of what was happening on defense.
Yeah, I thought defensively in the first half, I thought we got enough stops. I thought we were fine there. We missed some open looks, turned the ball over a little too much. There's definitely room for us to improve defensively. That wasn't a great defensive game for us. But our pace definitely goes down when we're taking the ball out of the rim, the whole game. So we got to get stops. That'll jumpstart our offense, allow us to play faster if we can get more stops. But again, it's a thing that, there's ebbs and flows. There's so much we get better on defensively, so much we get better on offensively, and those two are really heavily related. Also defensively, if we're turning the ball over and taking terrible shots, then it's hard to get stops as well if they can get out in transition. So, both things affect each other, and we can get better on both ends. But, you just watch the film and learn from it. That's really all you can do at this point, see where you can get better. Like I said, kudos to them. I really feel like they won the margins. And, against a team like this, when that happens, they're tough to beat. So we got to be better in Game 6.
You guys have not lost back-to-back games since March. What is it about the mentality of this team, how you guys are able to bounce back?
Yeah, I mean, we're a resilient group. We always want to respond when things don't go well. After a game like that, we understand what the stakes are, and we understand the conversation, what it will be around our group. But we're fine. We're fine. There's no need to panic or anything. It's a tough loss. We really, we got it to 10 a couple times. We cut it down, and we just weren't able to, get over that hump to get enough stops to get back in the game. So. There's definitely room for us to improve, and I think the great part about this group is, You know, and our staff is everybody's, you know, addicted to film study and figuring out where we get better. And Coach Carlisle's a savant at that stuff. So, you know, after a game like that, I know he's going to be all over the film. I'm going to be all over the film. We'll be talking a lot tomorrow. You know, as a group, we'll all be talking, seeing where we can get better. And, you know, we'll look at it all as a group and see where we can get better and, you know, improve for Game 6.
You talked about
Couple more, guys.
the resilience of this group, and there's no need to panic. And I saw it from the game. You walked off the court with a big smile on your face. Like, was that kind of as a leader sending a message that we're okay?
Yeah, I mean, it's one game, you know. You know, I think their crowd's excited as they should be, and you know, there's a lot of energy in the building, and I have the most confidence in myself and our group, you know, to play to our ability in Game 6. So I don't think there's any need to panic by any means. We get another game to go back at home and attack these guys and get better. So I look forward to Game 6, and we're prepared. We'll be prepared.
One more, if everybody has one. Jamal, good. All right, thank you guys, appreciate it.